Most people know that the Khmer Empire was one of the most glorious empires, especially during the era under the leadership of King Jayavarman VII. However, after his passing, a new reign began that gradually weakened the empire's influence until it was on the verge of complete collapse. What happened to this great empire? Professor Matlen Jido says that the Khmer historical period following King Jayavarman VII, starting from the era of King Trosork Paem and continuing through King Jayavarman VIII, seems complicated, chaotic, and marked by a continuous decline of power. Some legendary accounts mention changes in royal succession, the invasions by Siamese troops from Ayutthaya, which ultimately led the Khmer monarch, believed to be related by blood to King Trosork Paem, to decide to abandon the grand Angkor capital and establish a new capital elsewhere. According to some historians, King Srey Nootrak Vorman ascended to the throne in 1295, after his grandfather, King Jayavarman VIII, abdicated the throne. After King Srey Nootrak Vorman, two more monarchs are mentioned in inscriptions, specifically around the year 1307. King Srey Nootrak Vorman then transferred the throne to a relative. This monarch also became king and was named King Srey Nootrak Jayavarman. By 1327, another monarch ascended to the throne, named King Jayavarman Trosork Paem. However, there is very little evidence discussing these monarchs. With frequent changes in royal succession, Theravada Buddhism gradually began to influence Brahmanism, along with the Pali and Sanskrit languages, as seen in the Pali and Sanskrit inscriptions mentioning King Jayavarman Trosork Paem. The first Pali and Sanskrit inscriptions were created in 1309. Subsequently, Khmer history was recorded in many royal chronicles, written from the 18th century onwards. The oldest chronicle, of which only one copy exists, was written in 1796, during the reign of King Orngang or coinciding with the first reign of Siam. Another chronicle was written in the mid-18th century and translated into French by Didart de Lagris and published by Francis Garnier. However, these two chronicles seem inconsistent in some dates and particularly differ from another Khmer chronicle used by Mora. Regarding Khmer history during the Angkor period, contemporary researchers have cross-referenced evidence from several countries including China, Thailand, Vietnam, Portugal, and Spain, as many Khmer documents were lost due to war and destruction. Separately, some documents seem to mention the name of a monarch, King Nirik Vernarbort, in a folktale that narrates that he was the son of a farmer who killed a Khmer king. That farmer was named Trosork Paem, who made a living growing cucumber. In the folktale that appears to be related to the change of the Khmer royal throne, it is written that Trosork Paem was a farmer who grew cucumber, but the cucumber he grew had an exceptionally sweet and delicious flavor that was different from ordinary cucumber. Because his cucumber was so deliciously sweet, the Khmer king who was reigning at that time became very fond of eating it and issued a command for him to maintain the cucumber plantation exclusively for the king, and to protect it from thieves. The Khmer king also granted him a long spear to kill any thieves who might dare to steal the king's cucumber. One night, the Khmer king strongly desired to eat cucumber and entered the plantation to pick some. Due to the darkness, Trosork Paem mistook the king for a thief and struck him with the long spear, killing the king on the spot. The Khmer king had a daughter who, according to tradition, could not succeed to the throne. Due to the lack of a monarch to reign, the palace nobles and ministers decided to use an elephant to roam the villages and find a person of merit to ascend to the throne. The elephant stopped in front of Trosork Paem and knelt before him. The royal officials then organized a coronation ceremony, marrying him to the king's daughter and allowing him to ascend to the throne from that moment onward. King Trosork Paem expanded his governing power throughout the kingdom, and later his son, Virak Vernabort, replaced him to the throne. Some royal genealogies note that King Nirik Vernabort ascended to the throne in 1346, and he and the subsequent monarchs were still resided in the capital of Angkor. Historians seem to have difficulty definitively determining why there was a change of capital and abandonment of Angkor. Was it perhaps to escape the invasions of the Ayutthaya Siamese? In the royal genealogy written by Okya Nong, it is recorded that the Siamese king Rir Mir Turbide I of Ayutthaya launched an army and captured the capital of Angkor in 1353, during the reign of King Nirik Vernabort, though this seems to slightly differ in timing from some genealogies that state the Siamese king who ruled in Angkor did so in 1358. After that, the Khmer king Suryavom Rir Jir T Rirj launched a campaign to reclaim the capital of Angkor. From that point onward, wars between the Khmer and Siamese became frequent. By 1370, Siam had invaded the capital of Angkor and captured it again, causing the Khmer monarch of that era to perish, and Siam then continued to reign. King Poyir Yart launched a military campaign to recapture the Angkor capital, even killing the Siamese king. However, after 12 years of reign, King Poyir Yart decided to abandon the Angkor capital and established a new capital at Basarn Hill in Srey Soran Tor district, before another capital relocation to Jark Toamug city. Separately, in the Khmer royal chronicles used by Mora, these events were described at a slightly later time. The chronicle stated that King Poyir Yart's ascension to the throne and abandonment of the Angkor capital occurred after the Siamese king Boram Rir Jir T Rirj II or Jav Sarm Prar Yart captured Angkor in 1431. Based on these seemingly conflicting dates, an American historian, O. W. Wolters, presented a new perspective drawing from Chinese and Khmer records. He suggested that after the Siamese invasion in 1370, the Khmer king might have moved the capital to Basarn Hill, but the subsequent monarchs likely returned to the Angkor capital. No definitive documents conclusively verify the status of the Angkor capital after its abandonment. The French scholar Boucher-Lillet theorized that during this period, the Angkor capital might have been subject to looting and destruction. King Boram Rir Jir T Rirj II likely transported statues, divine figures, and many royal artifacts to Ayutthaya, particularly the statues on Ko Rir J Srey of the Nik Pon temple, which were dismantled from their northern and southern surroundings. He further wrote that the movement of these items, necessitating a change of ownership and transportation to Ayutthaya, likely meant that the Siamese king donated these as royal gifts to his royal lineage. From that point, the Suphan Buri dynasty began controlling the territories previously governed and built by King J Varaman VII at the Angkor capital. The Angkor capital was probably left abandoned, becoming a forest area, until a Khmer monarch returned and re-established residence there in 1657. In summary, after King Jayavarman VII's reign ended, the Khmer kingdom at Angkor continued with 5 successive monarchs: King Intrak Varman II, King Jayavarman VIII, King Srey Notrak Varman, King Srey Notrak Jayavarman, and King Jay Varamir Turbarak Mesvarak. Later, the earliest mentioned monarch in the Khmer royal chronicles was King Nirik Vernabort in the late 13th century, before evidence of Angkor's abandonment during King Poyer Yart's era or in the mid-14th century when Ayutthaya had become a new regional power.